Yeah.
I also can't shake the sneaking suspicion that it has something to do with our diet.
Really?
Well, I saw this. We know that obesity is like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and probably the reason for that, it's not exactly certain. There might be complicated reasons for it, but certainly one of the reasons is that people eat far too many carbohydrates.
Right.
Jordan Peterson is not a scientist. He's not a legitimate researcher, and he doesn't think like a scientist. And unfortunately, his opinions are never challenged by legitimate journalists or people who even think like legitimate journalists. This hypothesis he's given, if it's just stated as a hypothesis, it could be challenged, it could be falsified. What do we see on the chart there? Do we see that rising rates of obesity correlate to rising rates of carbohydrate intake? No, that's not what we see at all. What do we see when we look at this chart? Gee, what is it that's been increasing all over the world? Meat production, meat consumption, the percentage of the human diet that's made up of animal flesh and animal products like eggs and milk. It's really easy to throw around pious catchphrases like education, outreach, and activism. What you're talking about is helping stupid people. It's not people who are smart and well-informed and clued up within any given area, within any given struggle. Those are not the people who need your help. If you're going to do education, outreach, and activism, you got to have love for the people you're reaching out to. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I met people doing humanitarian work in Cambodia, and they developed so much contempt, so much hatred for the people they were helping. Or when they first start, they went there to help these people. If you don't have love for the people you're helping, whether they're farmers in Cambodia or people people on the internet from the decadent West, man, then you really can't do that job. And if you can't, that's cool. Just keep it real. Just admit to yourself what it is you're doing, and why. Quote, I'm not taking any sides here with either the vlogger or Jordan Peterson, but I haven't heard or read any mention about, one, the fact that they, the Petersons, do spend big bucks on grass-fed, highest quality organic meat. Or else, yes, they would be killing themselves if they were buying conventional meat. Okay, I got love for you, Lizzie. I got love for you, Lizzie Virouet, who wrote into me with this comment. I'm gonna try to help you out. Your claim is that conventional beef, if you were eating a 100% meat diet made out of conventional meat, that would kill you, but not a diet consisting of 100% grass-fed beef. That's your claim. This is from Beef Magazine. This is not from a vegan magazine. This is not from Health Magazine. This is from a pro-meat industry magazine. Grass-fed versus grain-fed ground beef. No difference in healthfulness. Okay? The internet is awash in websites that proclaim the nutritional benefits of ground beef from grass-fed cattle. However, researchers in Texas A&M University's Department of Animal Science have published the only 2 research studies that actually compared the effects of ground beef from grass-fed cattle and traditional grain-fed cattle on risk factors for cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes in men. Was ground beef from grass-fed beef actually more helpful? No, this study found. And of course, if you know how to use Google, this is not surprising at all. Now, instead of the minuscule differences in nutritional value when comparing grass-fed beef to quote-unquote conventional beef, what if we were to compare grass-fed beef to the staple of my diet, adzuki beans, a type of small red bean? What do you see there? Grass-fed beef is 60% fat, 40% protein, but 60% fat. The adzuki beans, 20% protein and only 1% fat. So as you can imagine, well, look, you know what? You don't have to imagine. Don't use your imagination. Don't rely on your imagination. Why don't you just read the little summary here that comes with this website? The good and the bad of grass-fed beef. The good, this food is low in sodium. That's when it's raw. That's when you haven't added salt and seasoning to it. Right. If you don't add anything to it, pretty much everyone adds salt and then it's not low in sodium, or they add a sauce, barbecue sauce or that. But okay, but if you were able to just eat it completely plain, low in sodium. Low in sodium, also a good source of niacin, vitamin B12, zinc, and selenium. The bad. This food is high in saturated fat and cholesterol. This food also contains trans fat. Now let's just hop over to the adzuki beans. The good. This food is very low in saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. It is also a good source of phosphorus, potassium, and copper, and a very good source of dietary fiber, folate, and manganese. Out of these two foodstuffs, which one do you think is a better source of protein? The one that gives you an unbelievable quantity of fat and indeed cholesterol, or the one that has almost zero fat, one that consists of just protein and carbohydrates? Yeah, you see in the background here a little humble brag from Peterson there saying, it's been 14 months, not yet seeing scurvy and vitamin deficiencies creep in. Sounds like science to me. Quote, I've tried carnivore. Nothing wrong with the diet. Vegan claims about cholesterol are lies. Cholesterol is basically just a number that describes how much trouble your body has digesting the fat it eats. Oh, that makes sense. Joke's on you, you stupid vegan. That baby is eating a natural diet and will be more healthy than you could ever dream of. This is referring to the fact that Peterson is feeding her newborn baby a carnivore diet. So the whole family, 3 generations, the grandparents, the parents, and the baby, all eating a carnivore diet, 100% contrary to the progress of science. I think probably health services in a lot of countries would take your kid away from you. I think they'd charge you with child endangerment. Feeding a tiny baby, nothing but 100% meat diet. It may not be against the law in Canada, but it'll be against the law somewhere. That baby will be the healthiest baby on the planet. F word, R word, vegans. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really easy to talk about education and outreach. If you ain't got love for these people, if you don't really want to help people who are a lot more stupid and ignorant than yourself, don't front. It's really a goddamn shame that somebody like Jordan Peterson is providing a respectable public face for these people to latch onto. People who want to believe in a 100% meat diet, people who want to believe that government health guidelines are a crazy conspiracy, people who want to reject the whole progress of, modern nutritional science, people who don't want to take responsibility for the environmental consequences of their decision, people who don't want to care about ecology, people who don't want to care about ethics, don't want to care about animal suffering. Jordan Peterson, your daughter is the poster girl for all of those people, and you yourself are providing a seemingly respectable, seemingly scientific, academic face on what is ultimately a dangerous diet delusion.
Izell, can you run around the block? I'm almost 20 years older than you. If we both got on bikes, I would absolutely slaughter you on my fruit diet. I don't know what diet you're eating. I don't even know if you're vegan. Who's paying you to say these things? That's what I want to know. Who's paying you? This guy is an imbecile. He's got to be a shill. Nobody could be that stupid. Somebody's paying him to spread this dark negativity like foul tentacles through the vegan YouTube movement.
Dun, 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 dun.